Hey there, and welcome. If you're leading a business today, you are probably wrestling with one massive question. What is our AI strategy? Well, in this explainer, we're going to cut through all the noise. We're going to give you a clear roadmap to figure out the right path for you, whether that's using AI assistants, agents, or maybe even a fully custom solution. So let's just dive right in, shall we? You're basically at a crossroads. Assistants, agents, or building something from scratch. Each one has its own big advantages, and yeah, the choice can feel pretty overwhelming. Our whole goal here is to hand you the compass you need to make that call with real confidence.
And let's be totally clear about something. This isn't some futuristic what-if conversation anymore. The big idea we're digging into is that generative AI has officially jumped from being a cool experiment to being an absolutely essential tool for getting ahead and staying there.
All right, so let's get into our first section here, the AI business imperative. See, to really get the how, you first have to understand the why now. Why is this conversation suddenly happening with so much urgency in every boardroom on the planet?
It's because the entire landscape has changed. I mean, we've moved way beyond the early days of just simple chatbots or text generators. Today, AI is being woven right into the fabric of how businesses operate, making a real, measurable difference in how work gets done day in and day out.
So, this evolution brings us to two of the most critical words you need to know: assistants and agents. And trust me, understanding the difference isn't just about sounding smart. It is the bedrock of a good AI strategy. So let's get super clear on what they are. Okay, here's the main difference, and it is a big one. Think of an assistant as a superpowered tool for one person, kind of like a sidekick that makes them faster and smarter. An agent, though, that's more like a digital coworker, an autonomous employee that can run an entire process all by itself.
So, let's zoom in on assistants for a second. Picture them as your personal co-pilot, living right inside the apps you already use every day. So, for example, a salesperson who used to spend hours digging through old emails can now just ask their assistant to summarize everything and draft a perfect follow-up. I mean, that's a massive productivity boost.
Now, AI agents, that's a whole other level. The digital coworker thing is spot on. They don't just help you with a task. They can actually own an entire multi-step process. Like, think about onboarding a new employee. An agent could handle everything, from sending the paperwork to scheduling training across 3 different departments, all on its own.
And listen, this isn't just some fantasy for the future. Check out this number. A staggering 82% of business leaders are already confident they're going to use AI agents to boost what their teams can do. This isn't just a trend. It's becoming a key to staying competitive.
So, is it assistants or agents? Nope, not at all. The real magic, the real transformation, happens when you bring them together. It's like a symphony, right? You need the amazing individual musicians. Those are your assistants. But you also need the conductor who pulls it all together. That's your agent, to create something truly incredible.
So now that we've nailed down the what, let's get into the how. Once you decide to go in on AI, you hit this really important fork in the road. Do you take the tools that are already out there and extend them, or do you go all in and build something completely custom?
I think this AI adoption spectrum is a great way to think about your journey. You can start small, right? Use some off-the-shelf tools, get some quick wins. Then you can move into that really powerful middle ground of extending those tools with your own data. And then finally, for the really big strategic stuff, you can build something custom.
Let's talk about that middle ground for a sec, extending AI. This is where you can get so much bang for your buck. It basically means you take a pre-built AI and you teach it about your business. You feed it your company's own data, you customize what it can do, and you hook it into your systems, like your CRM. That makes it incredibly useful for the way you actually work.
But what's really interesting is that for a lot of leaders, extending is just a stop along the way. About half of them are already looking past that, prioritizing custom-built AI. And why? Because that is where you can build something that nobody else has, a real competitive advantage.
So why would you go to all the trouble of building custom AI? Well, because it lets you do things that off-the-shelf tools just can't. It lets you solve your company's most unique problems, create amazing customer experiences that your competitors can't copy, and find totally new ways to create value.
But hold on. Whether you buy, extend, or build, none of it matters without this next part. Let's talk about the absolute non-negotiable foundation of any AI strategy that's going to succeed: doing it responsibly.
And this isn't some abstract worry. It is very, very real. A full 80% of leaders are worried about sensitive company data leaking out through these AI systems. And this isn't just about rules and regulations. It's about trust. If you lose that, your AI plans are dead in the water.
So what do you do about it? The only answer is a deep, fundamental commitment to a responsible AI framework. That means protecting data everywhere, all the time. It means having rock-solid access controls, staying on top of regulations, and being totally transparent to build trust. It cannot be an afterthought. It has to be part of the plan from day one.
Okay, we've covered a ton of ground, from what assistants and agents are to whether you should extend or build. Now, let's pull it all together and talk about the last and maybe most important piece of the puzzle, crafting an AI strategy that actually works for your business. And honestly, if you remember one thing, please let it be this. You can have the fanciest, most powerful AI tools in the world, but without a clear strategy that connects directly to your business goals, you're just a ship without a rudder. Why you're doing this is just as important, maybe even more important than what tool you're using. So we'll end right where we started, with a question. But this time, it's for you to take back to your team. When you look at your business, your goals, your unique challenges, what's the right first step for you on this AI transformation journey? The path is yours to choose. Thanks so much for tuning in.